Imagine waking up to the news that a narrow channel of water, the Strait of Hormuz, has been closed, sending shockwaves through the world. Oil prices double within hours, and panic spreads from trading floors to petrol stations as people rush to fill their tanks. Airlines warn of cancelled flights and soaring fares, while factories slow down, threatened by skyrocketing energy costs. Governments scramble, debating how much of their emergency oil reserves to release, knowing every decision could shape the coming months. Suddenly, energy security is no longer an abstract concept, it's a daily crisis. The cost of food and heating climbs, and families everywhere feel the pinch. The world learns, painfully, how dependent it is on a single, vulnerable waterway. Most people had never heard of the Strait of Hormuz until now. The Strait of Hormuz is just 21 miles wide at its narrowest, squeezed between Iran and Oman. It's the only sea route from the Persian Gulf to the open ocean, a true global choke point. Every day, massive oil tankers and gas carriers inch through its narrow shipping lanes, forming the lifeblood of the world economy. For centuries, Hormuz has been a crossroads of trade and conflict, but today its value is measured in barrels of oil and cubic meters of gas. Its vulnerability is its power. A single disruption here sends tremors through the entire global system. The world's prosperity depends on this tiny strip of water remaining open. Understanding Hormuz is key to understanding global energy security. 1/5 of the world's oil, about 20 million barrels a day, flows through the Strait of Hormuz. This torrent fuels economies from Asia to Europe, powering cities, industries and homes. It's not just oil. Nearly all of Qatar's liquefied natural gas exports pass through here, heating homes from the UK to Japan. There are few alternatives. Pipelines can't match the strait's capacity, and building new ones is slow and costly. The world is locked into this fragile dependency. Any disruption threatens not just energy supplies, but the stability of global markets. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's energy bottleneck. Its security is everyone's concern. If Hormuz closes, oil prices would spike overnight, triggering a global economic shock. Shipping insurance would soar, tankers would back up, and panic buying would empty petrol stations. Strategic reserves could only cushion the blow for so long. A prolonged closure would push economies into recession, with inflation spiraling and industries grinding to a halt. Developing nations would be hit hardest, struggling to afford fuel and basic goods. Food prices would rise and social unrest could follow. The world's intricate trade web would unravel, exposing our shared vulnerability. A single choke point could bring the global economy to its knees. The Strait of Hormuz is not just an economic artery, it's a geopolitical flashpoint. Iran controls the north, Arab states the south, with US and allied navies ever present to keep the peace. Tensions simmer with rivalries, military build-ups, and the constant threat of miscalculation. The strait's narrowness makes it easy to disrupt. Mines, missiles or small boats could block it in hours. Any conflict here would have global consequences far beyond the region. The world watches, knowing that peace in Hormuz is fragile and essential. The stakes could not be higher. A closed Hormuz would send inflation soaring, forcing governments into crisis mode. Central banks would face tough choices: fight inflation or protect jobs. Global trade would slow, shipping costs would rise, and supply chains would break down. Rationing and shortages could return, and international competition for energy would strain alliances. Developing countries would suffer most, unable to afford skyrocketing energy costs. The crisis would widen the gap between rich and poor nations, fueling instability. The ripple effects would be felt everywhere, long after the strait reopened. The only real solution is diplomacy. Keeping the Strait of Hormuz open benefits everyone. Military conflict here would be catastrophic for all, making dialogue and cooperation essential. International law and naval patrols can help, but trust and communication are vital. Shared economic interests should drive nations to protect this artery, not threaten it. The strait's security is a global responsibility, not just a regional one. Its continued openness is a testament to the power of cooperation over conflict. Leaders must choose dialogue over escalation, for the world's prosperity depends on it. In Hormuz's calm waters lies the measure of our collective security.